Let's talk a little bit about Apple's Image Playground, which is designed to let users create AI-generated images with ease, and some people aren't real happy with it. I'm looking at Image Playground in the App Store right now. It only has 2.8 stars out of 5. People are saying it's not useful. They're saying it's dumb, it's overly sanitized. Some people like it though. They say it's great innovation. There's been a lot of anticipation surrounding Apple Intelligence, and Apple's really been touting their AI image generation tool, which is Image Playground. But I'm seeing so many people online saying they tried it out and they lost interest in like a few minutes because it was just kind of a yawn for them, or it was kind of too kiddie. It felt like a toy. It wasn't really like a serious business tool. Now, I feel like Apple is aiming this to be something that you can communicate with. You know, like if you're gonna send a custom image to somebody in a text message, for instance, this might be for that, or literally just for kids. But yeah, I get that the business community, people who are used to using high-powered tools like Midjourney and paying for them, are coming over here and being like, what is this? Or you can go over to Grok and get image generation that basically has little to no guardrails, which some people are not gonna like and some people are gonna love. But I feel like there's some mixed reactions, and probably Apple's maybe surprised by the mixed reactions and how negative a lot of people are about it. Like, let's just ask 3 questions right now about Image Playground. Number 1, is it necessary? Number 2, is it effective? Number 3, is it innovative? Is it necessary? No, it feels like something that Apple just kind of did to pad out what they were going to launch with Apple Intelligence, because they didn't have Siri LLM. You know, that's not coming to like 2026. They've had to partner with some other companies, kind of fill in the gaps there, right? So I don't think they had to do this. They did it, and here it is. And, you know, it's basically split, like people that like it and don't. Is it effective? I guess it depends what you're trying to do with it, right? It's effective, I guess, at creating kind of like cute images or playful images. I think playful would be the word that Apple's probably going for here. So if that's what you set out to do, or if that's what you needed to do, then I guess it could be kind of effective. But like somebody said, it's kind of limited. It has the guardrails are pretty strong on there in terms of what you can and can't do. And then third, is it innovative? Actually, I would argue not. It almost does very little, I would say, that you couldn't do elsewhere in some free tools, in some paid tools. So really, I mean, why does it exist? I mean, this could have been a really cool opportunity if you had an Apple Pencil, you know, and you wanted to do some cool art and turn your sketch into something amazing. I feel like that's where originally, when I sort of saw this, I had a brief spark of hope that it was going to be something like really mind-blowing and really turn into a really cool creative tool for the Apple Pencil in particular. And it turned out to be something that was, I mean, I really am never going to use this. And by never, I mean like I will never have a specific use case where I'm going to be like, I'm going to go open Image Playground and use it and show somebody what I did with it. That's never going to happen. So whether you're really happy with it or not, if this is being bundled as part of the start of a new era for Siri, no wonder it's kind of off to a rough start. I mean, the underlying tech is interesting. It's created entirely on device, so you don't have to reach out to the cloud to make it happen. I talk often about how capable Apple Silicon is for actual AI stuff. AI stuff, it requires a ton of power. This is why on one end of the scale, we're getting so into nuclear, right? As a country, again, suddenly it's like on the table and people are talking about it like, yeah, we need to fire up nuclear because it's so important to AI. On this side of the scale, right? Not like on a state scale or country scale. You do need powerful hardware to run AI stuff. It just feels like this is a bit of a missed opportunity to deploy it towards this Image Playground. And I've said it before, but the name Playground really implies that this is not meant to be a serious tool. Now, Apple just acquired one of Adobe's biggest competitors, Pixelmator, and maybe they're going to bring some interesting, you know, beyond just like ML photo effects to stuff, some interesting stuff there with this sort of technology. They could redeploy it in a more serious way with that suite of tools, I would think. You have Adobe out here and they're doing like generative video and they're incorporating that into their professional video editor. And so like they're really pushing the boundaries of what, you know, creative people, which has traditionally been one of Apple's core constituencies. Like when you think Apple, you often think creative person because that's who gets featured in the ads. And it's true, like that was the best hardware and software for a long time for creatives. And then they come out with this playful thing. And I do think probably there's somebody out there who's really going to like it. And maybe they haven't been super exposed to the world of AI yet and all the different apps and all the potential out there. But this is an instance where you can't be like, but it's private and it really counts and like you really care. Probably people will get more out of the Genmojis, but barely than they will the actual image playground. I think for anyone who was expecting something revolutionary, which let's be honest is kind of how Apple was rolling this out, right? That's kind of how Apple rolls out everything. Everything's revolutionary. But you got to be careful with that, because if it ends up not being revolutionary, you're going to get some disappointment, and it kind of tarnishes a little piece of the brand, right? The Apple becomes a little less shiny on the shelf. Like the iPad mini is the cheapest device that you can get to buy into Apple Intelligence. And you can see that in the marketing, Apple is showcasing that feature right there in the notes or in Freeform with the Apple Pencil, like I was talking about. And I just think a lot of people feel like Apple's really conservative approach to the features are kind of stifling in the creative department. And I think they're hoping that it's a precursor to more advanced features, maybe more like a beta test. That's not how it's being marketed though. And I feel like to some extent, this is a bit of a flat tire. Apple's rolling along, you know, a lot of their tires are all pumped up, working great. And then this one's sort of keeping the experience of rolling through in the Apple ecosystem a little bit bumpier. So let me know what you think of Apple's AI strategy so far overall. Let me know what you think about Image Playground specifically. Did it meet your expectations? Are you feeling a bit let down? And let's just be honest, is it a flop? Let me know.